Chargers fans, buckle up because something big is brewing behind the scenes. The silence is gone, the wheels are turning, and what's coming next might just redefine the trajectory of this team and the career of a certain quarterback. It's not just rumors anymore. There's a strategic plan in motion, pieces being moved carefully across the board, and it all starts with one bold move that's got everyone talking. The front office is more active than ever, and it feels like we're on the edge of a franchise-shaping decision. One that could shift not only this upcoming season, but the next 5 to 10 years. Now, word is spreading about a potential trade that could completely flip the quarterback room on its head. Not only that, but whispers about a sibling storyline are making waves around the league. Yes, a trade involving NFL brothers is on the table, and what's wild is that this could come hand in hand with the addition of an unexpected name to the quarterback depth chart. You heard that, right? It's not a coincidence either. There's a mastermind behind this. Someone who's thinking several steps ahead, building not just a roster, but a blueprint for sustained success. But here's the real question. How far can this plan go? From the outside, some decisions might seem straightforward, but when you dig deeper, you realize they're laced with implications that go way beyond just names on a depth chart. And that brings us to the latest buzz. Talks of a trade that would land the Chargers the 14th overall pick in the draft. That kind of move isn't just aggressive, it's calculated. It opens the door to solve what might be the Chargers' biggest weakness right now, the lack of reliable targets for the quarterback. Sources say the ideal scenario involves trading up with a specific team to go after a particular wide receiver out of Arizona. And this guy, he's a beast. We're talking about a true number one receiver, 6'5", physically dominant and already proven. In 2024, the kid posted 84 catches, over 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And get this, the year before. That? More than 1,400 yards and double-digit touchdowns. This isn't some flash-in-the-pan prospect. This is a real weapon. The kind of guy who immediately shifts defensive game plans and makes life easier for every player on the field. If the Chargers pull this off, the plan is to pair him with another proven wide receiver and give their quarterback the kind of arsenal. That actually allows him to silence the critics. Because let's be real, expecting the current receiving core to suddenly evolve overnight is just wishful thinking. The quarterback can't do it all alone. He needs firepower, and this wideout could be the missing piece. Imagine it, 2 legit wide receivers and this new playmaker joining forces. Add in a quarterback who's still got something to prove, and suddenly you've got the foundation of a creative, balanced offense. And make no mistake, fans are talking. Some think trading up in the draft is too risky, and that the defense should still be the top priority. Others believe that if this team is serious about building around the quarterback, now is the time to fully commit. This could be the last real window to construct an elite offensive nucleus while the team still has financial flexibility. And it's not just about stats with this receiver, he's a locker room presence, a leader, the kind of guy who can shift the culture with just his energy. That kind of impact. On and off the field, you can't teach that. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Another name is being floated around, and this one could shake the entire league. It started as a whisper, but now it's echoing across fan forums and inside team facilities. A certain tight end might be in the Chargers' sights. And the connection? It's personal. One brother is coaching the Ravens. The other is running the show in Los Angeles. And apparently, the tight end is on the final year of his contract. The Ravens might be open to turning the page, and the Chargers are a very real landing spot. Think about that. This isn't just any tight end. He's a reliable target, a physical presence, someone who can block, dominate the middle of the field, and be a security blanket for the quarterback, especially in third down situations and in the red zone. His target share dropped in 24, just 19.4%, his lowest since his rookie year. But in Los Angeles, that would change fast. He would immediately become a priority in the offense, a weapon that one of their current tight ends never quite became. So now picture this offense. The quarterback, Najee Harris in the backfield, Mike Williams in the rookie wideout outside, and Mark Andrews at tight end. That's not just a good offense. That's a nightmare for defenses across the AFC. It gives the Chargers something they've been chasing for years, an identity. A real, dangerous, multifaceted identity. Of course there's a price. Andrews doesn't come cheap. A trade with the Ravens would likely involve giving up draft capital, maybe even a player. But here's the dilemma. Is it worth solving one of the team's most glaring problems? Some fans are already dreaming about seeing Andrews in a Chargers jersey at SoFi Stadium. Others think it's the wrong move, that the focus should remain on wide receivers, not tight ends. But either way, the impact of this kind of trade would be seismic. It would send a message to the rest of the league that the Chargers aren't playing it safe anymore, that they're making moves with purpose. And let's not overlook the psychological angle. This wouldn't be just a smart move. It would be a strategic strike. A family connection leveraged for maximum value. One coach knows the tight end's habits, his work ethic, his fit in different systems. It's like having the scouting report memorized before the trade even happens. And with the right play caller, Andrews could become the missing link that unlocks the full potential of this offense. Meanwhile, somewhere else on the roster, things are shifting. One player, once considered a future star, might be facing a harsh reality. The draft is coming, and the possibility of adding another top-tier receiver has put pressure on last year's top pick. The whispers are turning into real conversations. If the Chargers take another receiver early, this player could lose his starting spot before the season even starts. Last season, he recorded 55 catches, 711 yards, and 8 touchdowns. On paper, not terrible, but anyone who watched the games knows he faded when it mattered most. He dropped easy passes, struggled to create separation, and disappeared in the playoffs. 0 receptions on 5 targets against the Texans. That's not going to cut it. And now, with another potential star receiver on the horizon, the heat is on. The slot position is locked. Another guy just returned and has taken over the leadership role in the receiving group. If this new rookie comes in and shines during training camp, that former first-round pick might be on the bench, or worse, on a trading block. This situation isn't just about performance on the field. It's about expectations. It's about what this player was supposed to be. He wasn't drafted to be just another name in the rotation. He was supposed to be the guy, a foundational piece. Instead, what we're seeing is frustration. Frustration from coaches, from fans, and likely from within the locker room. There are still believers out there who think he deserves another shot, especially with a new coaching staff. But the NFL moves fast, and the window to prove you belong doesn't stay open for long. The reality is harsh. If he doesn't step up and show consistency, someone else will take his place. That's how this league works. And speaking of pressure, it's not just on the wide receivers. There's another layer of drama quietly unfolding in the quarterback room. Just when it seemed like the depth chart was settled, a new name suddenly entered the conversation. A backup quarterback, someone who's already been on 2 teams in 2 years, might be on the move again. And some insiders are pointing straight to Los Angeles, his story. A cannon arm, flashes of bravery, but a track record of inconsistency that's held him back. Yet despite that, there's chatter that he could be the next to wear a Chargers jersey. So why would the Chargers consider bringing in a guy like that when they already have Justin Herbert, Taylor Heineke, and Trey Lance? On the surface, it sounds crowded, maybe even unnecessary. But here's the thing. This guy brings depth. He's a safety net. If Herbert were to go down, or if Lance doesn't meet expectations, the team would at least have another option in their back pocket. And in today's NFL, that can't be overlooked. But we got to talk about cost. This quarterback wouldn't come cheap, not in backup terms. He's set to cost around $4 million, and for a player who might never even touch the field, that's a steep price. In a roster that still has glaring needs at receiver and in the secondary, spending that kind of money on a third-string quarterback feels questionable, especially when you've already invested in Lance. And Heineke, while not a superstar, is at least a known commodity when it comes to stepping in during a crisis. Still, there's a reason why this name is being floated. Herbert has dealt with injuries before. The front office knows that. They also know Lance is a mystery box. Tons of talent, but limited game experience and lots of unanswered questions. So maybe, just maybe, this quarterback isn't being viewed as just another bench warmer. Maybe he's being looked at as an insurance policy, one that could save the season in the worst case scenario. Of course, fans are split. Some are rolling their eyes, wondering why the team would bring in yet another quarterback when other positions are clearly in more urgent need of reinforcement. Others see the logic. If the price drops or if the structure of the deal works in their favor, adding another experienced player might not be the worst idea. But it's also possible that this is all noise, that the mention of this quarterback is simply a signal, a sign that the front office isn't fully convinced by what they currently have in place. A warning shot to everyone in that room. Step up or step out. What we're witnessing is a team that refuses to stand still. There's movement happening at every level. Offensive reinforcements, quarterback shakeups, coaching fingerprints all over potential trades, even whispers of family connections being used to make strategic gains. And through all of it, there's one constant. The Chargers want to compete now. They're done waiting, done with rebuilding seasons and moral victories. This is about winning, and winning big. The front office knows the window is open. Herbert's in his prime, the defense still has playmakers, and the division is as unpredictable as ever. Every move being discussed, every rumor floating through the media, all points to one undeniable truth. This team is chasing more than just playoff appearances. They're aiming for something bigger, and they know it'll take risks to get there. But that doesn't mean every risk will pay off. That's the tightrope this organization is walking. You take a swing for a wide receiver, and maybe he doesn't pan out. You trade for a tight end, and maybe the chemistry never clicks. You bring in another quarterback, and maybe it just adds confusion. These are the gambles that come with ambition, and fans are watching closely, some excited, others skeptical, all hoping that the next move is the right one. Meanwhile, the locker room is shifting. Players know when change is coming. They feel it. Veterans are watching younger guys rise. Rookies are eyeing veteran spots. It's a competition, plain and simple. And while that might rattle some, it's exactly the kind of pressure that brings out the best in the greats. Training camp is going to be a battlefield. Reps will be earned, not given. The old pecking order, gone. Everyone's got to prove themselves. Again. From the rookie receivers to the tight ends to the quarterbacks fighting for backup snaps, the heat is on. And that brings us back to the big picture. All of these storylines, all of this tension, it's part of something larger. The Chargers aren't just trying to fix a roster. They're trying to build a new culture, one that doesn't accept mediocrity, one that demands accountability, leadership, and production at every level. That's why these moves matter. That's why these rumors aren't just filler during the offseason. They're clues, pieces of a puzzle being put together behind the scenes. So now the question becomes, are the Chargers really all in? Are they willing to spend big, trade bold, and make the hard calls to elevate this team to a contender? Because this is the kind of offseason where legacies are made. Coaches define their philosophy. GMs make or break their careers, and players either rise to the occasion or get left behind. It's clear that something's coming. The draft is around the corner, and you can feel the tension rising. There's no telling exactly how the pieces will fall, but one thing is certain. This front office isn't standing pat. They've got a vision, a strategy, and they're moving fast. So whether it's a blockbuster trade, a shocking cut, or a surprise pick, just know this. The Chargers are reshaping their identity one move at a time. And if everything clicks, if the plan actually works, we might just be looking at the next big threat in the AFC. But if it backfires, the consequences will echo for years. That's the razor-thin margin between genius and disaster in the NFL. And this team is walking it with purpose. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Los Angeles Chargers. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a shocking turn of events, Khalil Mack has publicly announced that he no longer wishes to continue playing alongside Justin Herbert for the Los Angeles Chargers. The statement made during a live interview has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, leaving fans and analysts alike scrambling for answers. For years, Mack and Herbert had been seen as crucial pillars of the Chargers' defense and offense, respectively. Their partnership had even been considered a key element of the team's hopes for future success. Mack, a seasoned pass rusher and defensive powerhouse, has been with the Chargers since 2022, following a high-profile trade from the Chicago Bears. He quickly became one of the anchors of their defense, alongside other formidable figures like Joey Bosa. Herbert, meanwhile, has established himself as one of the brightest young quarterbacks in the league, showing promise and leadership in every season since his debut in 2020. The two seem to be on a path to lead the Chargers into a new era of competitive football. However, during the interview, Mack's tone was unmistakable, revealing a deep sense of dissatisfaction with the team's direction. I've been doing this for a long time, and the last thing I want is to waste the best years of my career. Justin is a great player, but there's more to winning than just individual talent. I want to be part of something that feels like a true team, Mack explained. The implications of his statement are profound, as it calls into question not just Mack's future with the Chargers, but the future of the team itself. With Herbert locked into a long-term contract, Mack's desire to move on raises concerns about the team's chemistry and leadership dynamics. Many are speculating that Mack's frustration stems from a lack of progress in the team's playoff performances despite the high expectations placed on both him and Herbert. The Chargers have yet to comment on Mack's remarks, and it's unclear whether they will seek a trade or try to work things out with the veteran pass rusher. However, the situation is now in the spotlight, and the NFL world will be watching closely to see how the team handles this public fallout. As for Mack, the future remains uncertain. His leadership and skill set will surely be in demand, but his next destination is anyone's guess. For now, the Chargers face a difficult decision, whether to appease the disgruntled star or press forward with the current roster, hoping to find a way to reconcile the growing tensions within the locker room. This drama is far from over, and it will undoubtedly shape the Chargers offseason and beyond. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Los Angeles Chargers, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.